Well, here's what's coming up today on Western Sports Roundup. 2 different horses, 2 different go-round wins. No problem. Kassie Mowry, #1 in the world standings. We'll tell you about a horse named Cornbread coming up in just a few minutes from now.
And we have breaking news from the WPRA and the PRCA. There's a new agreement between these 2 Western sports legendary associations. It's a 3-year deal. We'll have very special guests as well here joining us in the studio.
And we'll take you to go-round number 6 at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. There were some calls that folks found themselves questioning. We will get into it and talk about the rules and talk about what happened. That's all coming up.
Absolutely there. Absolutely. I don't know what the call's going to be from the booth, but if it's a no score, I don't agree with the call. That was a spur out.
Welcome to Western Sports Roundup. We are proud to bring 2 the major league associations together. We're talking about the Women's Professional Rodeo Association and the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. Hot off the presses, big headlines in Western sports today. They've signed a new 3-year deal, and we are going to elevate the profile of pro rodeo every chance we get. Both associations have the same goals, and we have a wonderful guest right here. Heidi Schmidt is the president of the WPRA, and Tom Glaus is the CEO of the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. As if y'all didn't have enough stuff going on out here during the National Finals Rodeo. Heidi, you guys have sent out a press release talking about the future, and the future looks good for both associations to continue to work together.
Absolutely. We have such a valued partnership with PRCA, their entire staff. Tom has been wonderful to the WPRA. All of his people have. We're just really excited to finally get it done and be able to tell you all about it.
So let's talk about, Tom, I know the important thing to you is the continuance of this long-term partnership between the PRCA and the WPRA. There are a couple of details, particularly involving the breakaway roping, but talk about the big picture.
Well, first of all, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Steve, for inviting us on to Western Sports Roundup.
It's always a pleasure
to talk about this. Always a pleasure to join you. The big point for me is memorializing the longstanding relationship that the WPRA and the PRCA have had. This agreement memorializes that partnership for the next 3 years.
And Heidi, specifically, as Steve already alluded to it, the breakaway finals has been kind of a partnership, cooperation between the 2 of you. And the one major change that I see in this agreement is that the breakaway finals is all going to be under the WPRA umbrella.
Absolutely. I think that when we started 6 years ago with 35 or 37 breakaway ropings, I don't think any of us knew what it would grow to be. And without the PRCA partnering with us, it definitely couldn't be at 500 plus rodeos today. That being said, I don't want to speak for Tom, but the WPRA always felt like the breakaway roping, the women in rodeo, should probably be under our umbrella. That's where we wanted to see it, and I think that our partners felt the same way. So we're excited to have the barrels and breakaway under the WPRA. We will still work closely day in and day out with our partners in rodeo, the PRCA, but we're happy the breakaway roping is coming to us.
Tom, go ahead, follow up on that.
6 years ago, when we started talking about breakaway, we thought we were better together than to create 2 different breakaway associations. And we came together and we agreed to jointly promote breakaway. And I think both of our associations have done a really good job, a great job of promoting breakaway. The first year we had it in 2020, we had 66 rodeos. I think our total payout was $200,000. Now we have a world champion that will most likely win $200,000 in 25.
Yeah, and so looking forward now, the thing I love about this is we have 2 different organizations, both working toward the same goal, both working toward the same mission, and both serving a different membership base, Heidi, but this cart doesn't work if it's not being pulled in the same direction. And I think both organizations are going in the same direction. Am I right in saying that?
Absolutely. Where the PRCA goes, I don't want to say we have to follow, but we do want to follow, because just look at this NFR, the prize money. You can give your stats on all the guys, but look at my ladies. Kassie Mowry winning the world with under 30 rodeos right now. It's just incredible, and this machine is definitely something the WPRA wants to be a part of and wants to continue that relationship.
Well, it's a great time to be in the Western sports business. It's a good time to be a cowboy and a cowgirl, and you guys both steer ginormous ships along the way, and you got a lot of oars in the water all over the place. I don't know how you manage it all, but you're doing a great job, because we continue to grow, and we're even looking forward to a whole lot more growth in the future. I know that.
Well, we can't stand still. We have to keep moving forward. We're on a great trajectory, and our plan is to continue an upward trend. And as Heidi alluded to, we have one mission, and that is to leave rodeo better for the next generation than we found it. And I think we've done a good job of raising the bar for the next generation.
So thank you both for your time. New 3-year deal. It's got an option for a 3-year return after that. But Tom Glaus, CEO of the PRCA, Heidi Schmidt, president of the WPRA. And I would remind everybody, National Finals Breakaway Roping, December 22nd and 23rd, Cowtown Coliseum, Fort Worth, Texas. Tickets at cowtowncoliseum.com.
Now let's get to that unbeatable moment of last night's round number 6. And boy, Statler Wright stepped up to the plate of the bull riding and knocked a grand slam home run, winning his 3rd go-around out of the first 6 go-arounds.
He has ridden 4 bulls at this NFR successfully. He's finished second once and first 3 times. Statler Wright putting together a heck of a performance in the bull riding. He's won over $148,000. Interestingly, the only man who's won more of money in one event, Wacy Shala, $150 in the bareback riding. But there you see Stetson. Kai Hamilton's ridden 5, Stetson's ridden 4. Kai's number 1 in the average, but Stetson's right there. If Kai stubs his toe, he knows who's going to be right beyond him.
That's right. He's won $267,000 in the first 6 days. $267,000. That's going to bump him up towards $800,000 for the season. Total money, $782,000.
So we say thank you for this unbeatable moment to Unbeatable Feeds. This is the Unbeatable Moment, sponsored by Unbeatable Feeds. No grain, no problem.
Well, it is military night tonight, and we are looking forward to honoring some very special people, publicly recognizing and saying thank you to the men and women in the United States Armed Forces here tonight. And the ladies tonight in Pro Rodeo, they play a special role.
They really do, Justin. And you talk about the honor tags for Heroes Tribute that's about to take place. The barrel racers in particular are going to wear dog tags, emblematic of 2 female soldiers who have lost their lives in service to the country. That is Specialist Sarah Beckstrom of the United States Army National Guard out of West Virginia. You remember just a couple of weeks ago, she was shot in action. And we say thank you as well to Sergeant Jada Good, who you just saw pictured there a moment ago. She served in the United States military as well and passed away in September as part of a group called the Night Stalkers of the elite 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. The legendary Night Stalker, she lost her life in a training accident. Sarah Beckstrom, we've all had a chance to hear, sadly, the news of her passing just a couple of weeks ago after being shot in Washington, D.C., serving her country in the National Guard. Tonight, the barrel racers will all be wearing dog tags honoring those 2 female military heroes, and we salute them and thank them for recognizing those ladies. And, of course, thank you to all of those who serve our country and defend our freedom.
That's right. And we know there's a lot of them watching, because all the bases, the military bases around the world, are watching the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo on the Cowboy Channel, so we appreciate you. Now, stick around. When we come back, we're going to talk about some controversial situations last night in the arena concerning a crossfire call in the team roping, as well as a real close call for Statler Wright. Did he, or did he miss that horse out? Joe Beaver will be here, and we'll break it down in just a moment.
And later on, we're going to have a little fun with that lady, one of the most talented musicians you will ever hear from, you will ever meet. We'll be joined by Jenna Paulette on stage here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. Thanks for joining us on Western Sports Roundup. Western Sports Roundup brought to you by Resistol, the official hat of Cowboys everywhere. We live it every day. Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim. Live boldly. Live in rock and roll denim. Welcome back to Western Sports Roundup. Last night, Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Luke Brown on the head side, Trey Yates on the heel side. Could have been an arena record. Stetson Wright in the bronc riding. A lot of folks saw these runs. A lot of folks saw this ride. A lot of folks had questions. There have been 34 reviews so far of calls that judges have made at the NFR this year. 31 of them stood up. 3 of them have been overturned, and you saw the reaction of Stetson Wright right there. He did not believe that he missed that horse out. If you were watching the telecast, Joe Beaver joins us. Butch Knowles, Jeff Metters did not believe that there was a miss mark out there, and that changes a lot of things. Both of those runs change a lot of things. The possibility of an arena record for Luke and Trey, and it really, we'll talk about the saddle bronc riding standings in a minute. But, you know, these... Here's my point on it. I'm just going to go right here, right off the bat. There are a lot of calls that are made. Every once in a while in sports, something happens.
You know, it's not a perfect world. And I'm not saying it was the right calls by no means. I'm not saying it's wrong in their eyes, whatever. But also, if you've ever judged anything, when you have to make a split-second call, it's very hard. That's the hardest part to me, is they get in a bind and they make a call that's so, you know, it's so quick and so fast with so much, you know, meaning at the end.
Let's talk about some of the mechanics and some of the angles right here. Joe, what a lot of people don't realize is that the flagger is in a different position than Thomas and Mack because it's so small. He's usually over behind the gray horse, over there to the left, in front of the linesman, where he walks out in front of the head box, has a clear view of the heel shot. But here, Thomas Mack, that's not where he's at.
You can see right there. See, he's over the other side of the heel horse. And to me, you know, what's hard is that you watch the heel horse. And see, the heel horse, he wasn't squared up and around, but the steer was, you know, squared up when he threw. Watch. The heel horse, if he'd have been inside and turned, it'd have been a straight go. Just like to watch the yellow horse, how he bends and he's inside. The bay's a little stiff. He may have kind of went by the turn a tick, but the loop is about the same. Okay, watch this. Watch Jay's yellow. See how his yellow tucks his nose, gets inside, and Trey's is a little straight still. Trey threw a jump quicker than Jay did, but Trey threw about the same time a couple other loops were, I thought. And, you know, I'm a big guy. I'm a big deal with tie goes to the runner for when it's a major call.
Yeah, and the thing about the tell me if I'm right, Joe. The crossfire call in rodeo, it's kind of like a block charge in basketball. It's the hardest thing for
it's terribly hard to call, too. And here's the deal. You know, that's how I joke about it, but not joking, really. I would take the crossfire rule out at the national finals because it is such a hard place to call it. Like Justin said, you can't get in the right spot as being the flag man. You're trying to do it in 3 seconds. It's just hard.
I want to also point out that this was a perfect storm, in my opinion. That position, the head horse, the angle of the steer, the flagger's position, the heel horse's position, everything was the perfect storm to be so close you can't call. And you know what? I think I'm more prone for an official to make a call now that we have instant replay because they can go to instant replay. Yeah. But I think it was even such a perfect setup that it is a tie. Like you said, this could have gone either way. I have talked to flaggers, professional flaggers all day long. Half of them said crossfire. Half of them said no way.
It's such a personal view call that here at the national finals, man, I would take it out because it would open the door for high quality, high caliber healers to take the shot they needed to win great money.
And I'll say this, I got to stand for the flagger real quick because the team ropers love that flagger.
Here's the deal. That is the hardest. That and a knockdown in the team roping, I mean the steer wrestling to me, are the hardest 2 calls to make in 3 seconds. Yeah. You know, that's the difference. You got to remember 3 seconds, not 4, 3, 9, 3, 1, 3, 3. Same in the steer wrestling. Those 2 calls, hard to make.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, one of the most respected field flaggers in the country.
Oh, yeah, and I'll say this, too. I talked to Luke Brown, and he said, I don't want that to go away because it takes away from the highest level of a heel horse to be able to get up high enough and around the corner to square up, and also for the team ropers, you know.
It's a hard call to make. Nobody's going to take them away on purpose. You know, you don't flag a guy out on purpose. You don't miss a mark out on purpose. You know, but it's like you say, a lot of football games, sometimes there's a call that costs the team the game. It just happens. It's bad. It's bad for, you know, everybody's opinions, and everybody comes with their opinions. You know what I mean? Well, but it's one guy that has to make a call in a fraction of a second for a lot of money.
And we had 2 perfect storms. We done talked about that in the team rope, but we also had one in the saddle bronc riding with all eyes, maybe more eyes on one guy than any one guy in the history of the game, going for some records that are so rare, and he's at the top of his game after 2 years of injury, and the yellow flag for the mark out here. Again, if a judge is questionable, I say throw the flag because we got instant replay.
And instant replay is what they're hoping on right there, you know. And, you know, a guy knows, too. Here's a call to me. When you get, and that's his brother, so they're going to say, you know what I mean? Sure. That's blue shirts. But as a person, you know, if you miss one out and you hit the ground, Justin, you don't really want to look back and see because you feel like you probably did. But when you see a guy like that thinking, man, I had him, that's when it's a hard call.
They got him on the right side right here. That's what we're looking at.
I know. I'm going to play devil's advocate right here. Indisputable. It's got to be an indisputable vision in the replay booth to overturn the call made in the arena. It's got to be indisputable. With the angle of his shafts, the fringe in the shafts, you know, the blurriness of a camera, maybe that was why they couldn't overturn it. To us, it looks like an easy call. But is it 100% indisputable?
Well,
that's the question.
That's the part that's gray. You know what I mean? That's the gray area right there, guys, and that makes it hard because if you're watching that, you give it. I honestly thought the night before they could have maybe got him way more than last night, but, you know, I'm just a guy at the other end.
I'm going to throw this out there. I used to be a proponent of getting rid of the mark-out rule because of these situations.
Yeah.
But then you talk to saddle bronc riders and say, hey, no, that takes a better bronc rider, a better cowboy. Yep. I'm all for every reason every bronc rider wants to keep it. But I still don't know why we can't do 2 extra points for a great mark-out or 1 extra point. And it's rewarded by points and deducted by points.
Hey, he'd have took 5 points off to have that one.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Who loses there? I don't think there is a
no
bad
time
side to that.
and the no points is a loss for the contestant period.
It's too
That's
much.
too much.
That's too
It's
much.
too much money out here anymore. And, you know, it's hard enough to ride broncs, much less ride 10, you know, so.
Yeah. So here's the thing now that you have to look at as you look at Stetson's reaction one more time. The World Championship race in the saddle bronc riding, got tossed on his head.
Just took a big change.
Yeah, it really did. And here's why. Stetson Wright is all the way down to number 9 now in the aggregate. Zeke Thurston is number 1 in the average right now with 4 rounds to go. There you see, 517.5 points. Stetson slides to 9th. We've been talking about Triple Crowns for Stetson. That's a whole nother story now. Zeke Thurston, at this moment, if the NFR would have ended last night, he and Billy Etbauer would have been the 2 guys with 5 world championships.
Yeah, and you know, and you don't want it to be because of a call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where it's so hard. And I'm like you, Justin. That's what makes it so hard for a 0 or a no time. You know, and sometimes even give them a +5 if you crossfire. It's like roping a leg. Do something, but the no times, they're hard. But the rule says crossfire, no time, miss one out, no score. So until things get changed, it's going to be that way.
Yeah, and, we got to be progressive in those departments.
That's right.
Really got to look at why do we do things? Is it the best thing for the sport? Is it the best thing for not just the athletes, but the fans?
Mm-hmm.
And this overall fan experience is a big deal for rodeo fans all over the world watching this thing. And I think we need to I'm getting completely off of the judges because I think the system it needs more.
And the last thing I want to be is a judge.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm hard on them, and I tell them when it's good, but I don't want the job because that is a hard job.
I was on another appearance this morning, and here's what I said, and I think I'm right. The judges in professional rodeo, out of 800 rodeos and 7 events or 8 events per rodeo or 9, how many calls do they make that are right?
Yeah,
an overwhelming majority.
It's like hazing,
and it's
you don't see the good calls, you see the bad.
You don't see the good calls, you see the bad. It's like nobody notices an offensive lineman until he misses a block and his quarterback.
I know,
gets killed.
but when you got super slow motion, it's a replay. I don't know.
Here's my deal, and you just said it when we watched that replay.
Yeah.
Why didn't they have the view we had?
Well, that too.
We got it right here today on Western Sports Roundup, and it was pretty clear, I thought, on our view, didn't you?
Yeah.
Why didn't they have that view? That's what I question.
So the big question everybody's asking, how could they miss it? Let me tell you why. Because they're humans.
Oh, yeah.
And when the PBR started this, which was 20 plus years ago, by the way, first of all, we're really slow getting caught up to this technology. But here's where we are. And I was there. I was doing TV in the earliest PBR days. It happened then. It happened in the NFL. It happened in every sport. It happened. It's an evolution, and we can't grow if we don't mess up. I can say that personally anyway.
How many times have we heard somebody say, rodeo's trying to become this major sport? One of the things that happens in major league sports, people argue about judges. They argue about referees.
Every
single week.
Bam, right there.
Yeah. Every week.
Conversation. That's our goal every day is to create conversation.
So here's the thing, though, guys. The one thing that might happen right now, and we'll see 4 nights from now who's the world champion saddle bronc rider going to be. Zeke Thurston has ridden real good this year at the
Probably
NFR.
not going to be Stetson.
Yeah, ain't going to be Stetson for sure now. That's right.
Yeah. Joe, I appreciate your insights as always.
Thank you.
Yeah, good or bad, it's what it is. I know, and you have to go on. What impressed me so much last night is he just had his floor jerked out from under him, right? And he comes right back and wins a round in the bull riding, and he shows up right here on our stage to get his buckle, and he's mad, he's upset, but guess what? He's a rebounding world champ from injuries that some people would have been done with, so I still respect total of what Stetson Wright's doing for rodeo.
Yeah, all of his interviews were very positive and just a very unique young man that handles himself very well. Stick around. When we come back, you're going to meet a bucking horse and another cowboy hero that had a huge impact on folks from Wyoming and Montana. And now Irv Alderson has a bucking horse named after him who happens to be one of the best horses in the country. Now there's a scholarship. Oh, this story is so good. You'll watch it when we come back.
Western Sports Roundup is presented by Airhit. Ready, set, ride in boots and jeans that work as hard as you do.
Hey, we'd like to invite everybody, as we follow up on our last segment, if you'd like to learn more about the review system and how it was put into place this year, you can go to the PRCA website. And also, Tom Glaus was telling me when he was here earlier that he said, hey, also tell the folks, if you don't mind, that if you would, at a major league sporting event, they're not going to make a statement at the halftime of that sport. And he said, this is halftime. After round 5 or 6, we're right in the middle of this game. And so that tells me that we can look forward to maybe an official statement concerning maybe how we're going to progress from the markout or the questionable markout last night and how we continue to grow maybe after the NFR. Soon after that, we hope. Anyway. Right now, let's get into a great story with the Sankey Rodeo Company. They bucked their young horses, and they had a brilliant idea, I think. They're going to auction off the naming rights to some of these young horses. And a horse got named after a legend in Montana. A scholarship was born, and we think it is a fantastic story on the National Finals bucking horse from Sankey Rodeo Company called Irv's Legacy.
So this story started a long time before we ever decided to have the spur access bucking horse sale and futurity. It started with a guy named Irv Alderson. And I got a chance to talk about Irv Alderson with Tommy Wayman, who's a world-class polo player and one of the people that named Irv's Legacy. Talking about old timers, you are one of the original friends of Irv Alderson that put the name on Irv's Legacy, right?
Right. Irv Alderson was very, very famous, southern Montana, northern Wyoming, poet, cowboy, one of those kind of guys that never met a stranger. He could be in a room full of people talking, and he made you think that he was talking directly at you. Very few people can do that. And just a great, great man. Anybody needed help, Irv's the first one there. And everybody that knew him, loved him. There's a picture of him teaching Queen Elizabeth how to rope.
Somebody sent it to me the other day.
Yeah. And his wife was Malcolm Wallop's sister. And they had 2 daughters. They go back to royalty. You know, this is in Sheridan, Wyoming, where Queen Elizabeth came over there, and she had family.
So let me tell a little bit about the story. So this sale and futurity, where we sell the naming rights to the horses, and then there's a futurity. The futurity was the day after the sale. That was the first year we did it. Jimmy Newman, who you mentioned in here earlier, he came up and he bought the horse's name was Ruckus. Stood up, said change his name to Irv's Legacy at the auction. And then he said, let me know what happens at the futurity, which was the next day, because he's going to be at Irv Alderson's celebration of life the day of the futurity. So we're out here dummy bucking colts, and on paper, old Irv's Legacy, we don't know much about him. And this is all genetic.
Right.
So we don't know that much about that horse. It's sired by Cat in the Hat. It's the first set of colts out of Cat in the Hat. And then out of a mare named Hullabaloo, which we didn't get hardly any colts out of, and he might have been the last one. So next day we go to bucking colts here. Turns out old Irv's Legacy, pretty good with the dummy. Wins the futurity, wins trophy halter, wins 10,000. Called Jimmy. In the meantime, Jimmy was at that service of life or celebration of life and was telling you guys about how he named the bucking horse Irv's Legacy.
And did you want in?
Yep.
And so he had more people wanting in than he wanted. And when Jimmy came up with this idea, I mean, he went to certain people that Irv knew very well and said, do you want in? You get in for $1, you can get in for $100, it don't make any difference. And I think there's 16, 17 of us that went in. Didn't cost people nothing, but they wanted something to remember her by. And did a good job.
Irv's Legacy, a horse that Leighton Green was big money on in Logandale, Nevada. Weston Patterson's going to get to say the same in Cheyenne. How about 88 points to start?
He just one of a kind. He's like that good horse, and this horse named right. He's named right. I don't know how many people are going to be at the National Finals watching Buffalo, but it'll be well represented. There again, one of those old guys that's gone. It can't be replaced.
Well, Irv's Legacy landed in the top 10, the top 15 in the TV pin in round 5. Lefty Holman, who was 86 points, and we're hoping that Irv's Legacy gets that invite to round 10 and the final round here at this year's Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. Well, we're proud to have Kassie Jones joining us, and take a look at this rig we're going to give away at Pro Fantasy Rodeo as we are going to talk about the daily game and the big prizes. That is a prize package like we've never seen. And there you have it. Get your daily team at ProFantasyRodeo.com. There's $10,000 paid out every day. Congratulations, Shay Johnson. Round 4 team earnings, $266,000. And welcome back, Kassie Jones.
You betcha. So that team right there is in the lead for the 10,000. So yesterday we had Steven Linneber. His team won 215,000. So he didn't quite overtake the lead. And so we have 3 more nights to knock off the top spot to win the 10,000. So for $20, you can win 3,500 and then possibly the 10,000.
Wow. And it's the top money winning team in your daily game each day that gets that $10,000 bonus.
Correct. So we have a $650,000 salary cap. You pick one in each event, you're ready to rodeo.
Man, I tell you what, this thing just gets better and better. You know, this is the time of the week where it just really gets so intense, even more intense than when you're putting your original big game team together early last week.
Yeah, so Casey Estrada right now is in the lead for the Ag Wagon, the elite horse trailer with the Outback interior. And so we have 3 more rounds, and then we're going to have that average money kick in. So you might be looking at that for your tattoo league. You're only like 37,000 out of the lead. So with that average money, that's pretty important. That's a lot of money that's going to hit on the last day.
Yeah. And I'm feeling pretty good about my average chances. By the way, I am chasing John Harrison in the number 1 spot. I'm number 2. I haven't bothered to look at who is in the tattoo spot. It's not Justin McKee, I don't think.
No, we still get a tease old Tommy Joe.
Okay.
He's sweating it, too.
He's still down at the very
He's sweating
bottom.
it. Yep, he's sweating it.
Oh, I'll be darned. So you asked us to pick some bareback riders, some bronc riders, and some bull riders. And tonight's performance, here they are. Justin, you like Sam Peterson. I like Silver Beaver. So does Kassie. That's the horse they won the round on the first time these horses bucked.
Yeah, but this trooper was in the eliminator pen with Wasey the other day and looked spectacular. So I think he's going to be at the top of this deal. And Sam is dialed in. He's won 2 go-arounds. He hasn't won a big run. He hasn't been gaining any headlines. He's won almost $100,000. He's number 2 in the world. It's his time to shine in the spotlight.
Yeah, and if you look at Cole Franks right there, he has 110,000, so it's a little bit cheaper. I went with Statler on Talk Derby to Me. That horse right there, Ryder was 88 points on him in round 2, and Statler's only coming in for $70,000 to get him on your team.
Yeah. So I took yesterday's delivery, and Zeke, I talked to Zeke this morning. I said, how many times you been on yesterday's delivery? He just smiled. He said a lot. And he's had a lot of success on it. So that's the bronc riding. Here's the bull riding. And in the bull riding, the guys that the bull riders that we have chosen, Stetson on Big Buck's dinner for 2, and it seems to be kind of Big Rich's dinner for 2, I should say. It seems to be kind of a sweep there.
So let me tell you a little bit about that bull. He's never been ridden, but I expect Stetson Wright to hit that little yellow arena with a lot of fury tonight. Yeah. This bull also is co-owned. The name of the bull is Big Rich's Dinner for 2. Well, Rich Offendahl, he's a co-owner in that bull, and he won the American Contender Fantasy this spring and won a Polaris Ranger.
Man, I'm glad you got that story.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there. I talked to Danny Reagan. He said not only is this bull unridden, but nobody's been past 4 seconds on this bull. So we don't even know what he's going to do. But we're going to find out tonight what he does after 4 seconds, because Stetson, I would pick Stetson Wright on Godzilla. Tonight. I don't care what bull it is. I'm picking. I don't care how much money it costs me in the fantasy picks.
That'd be a good pick.
Go to ProFantasyRodeo.com. The daily game starts tonight, just as soon as the rodeo kicks off, and get your chance to win yourself some money from ProFantasyRodeo.com. So we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, let's talk about what happened 24 hours ago with another member of the Wright family. This is Statler, and he just won his second go-around at this NFR. He's sitting in the top 5 in the average. We'll tell you about it coming up.
Hey, by the way, the Eliminator Pin of Bucking Bulls are out tonight. I just want to get that out there early. And when we come back also later in the show, Rookie of the Year, Gus Gaillard, joins us to talk about saddle bronc riding in his amazing first season. We'd like to say thank you to Westmore Manufacturing. Live boldly, one of our big sponsors here at Western Sports Roundup on the Cowboy Channel.
So let's talk about maximum power and Polaris and take a look with AI. Statler Wright jumping and kicking and making a pretty good bronc ride. This is the same horse his brother won go-round number 2 on, and he makes a 90-point ride to win the round last night at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
I love it. The same horse his brother Stetson won on. Yes, Wayne Bold loves this horse, and I do too. Did you see how many hard kicks AI had that one? Topped out at 9. That's one of the rankest horses any way you look at it. And my buddy Steve Kenyon caught up with Statler after the ride.
Oh, shoot, that horse is just spectacular. To, I don't know, get a horse to win 2 go-rounds, it's pretty amazing, and that's a pretty special horse. And I don't know, it's when he bailed out of there, he sure felt like he was bucking. Stetson kind of said he's a day off, and he wasn't. I don't know whatever Stetson's doing. He must be doing it just a little bit better, but I had to work my tail off to get to that 8 seconds, and I don't know, it was awesome. I even jumped off. I stuck my landing too.
Wow, well, good for you. See, you're getting better all the time. Everything you're doing, you're getting better at.
My wife is going to yell at me. She hates when I jump off. I think my mom hates it too, so I probably won't do that again, but at least I stuck my landing.
Okay, I want to ask you something that you don't get asked enough. We all give your brothers a lot of credit. We all give your dad, justifiably, a lot of credit. He's had a lot of impact on you guys. Talk about your mom.
Oh, she's everything. She's took me to high school rodeos, was there taking me, doing everything, to sporting events and everything. She's my manager, my accountant, my mom, my best friend. I don't know. She's just everything. It's hard to put into words everything she's done for us and will continue to do. And I don't know. It's pretty special that she's been able to handle all 5 of us really. And I don't know. She's just amazing.
Well, that interview was pretty amazing, Steve Kenyon. Thank you very much for that. And as we track his progress, Statler's been climbing the World Series, World standings, I should say. Second round win of the week. He's got 2 trips to the South Point and moved to number 3 in the average. He sets number 7 in the world standings, but 3rd in that aggregate.
Yeah, he has been first twice. He's finished 5th once. But Statler Wright really starting to show what he can do. And here's a look at your aggregate. This is the top 5. That's a $94,000 paycheck on Saturday night. Zeke Thurston, number 1. Look how close Lefty Holman is, who came in number 15. Right behind him, and then Statler Wright, Cade Bruno, and Ben Anderson. Your top 5 in the aggregate at the NFR. But really, right now, you got to look at a race between Zeke Thurston in the number 1 spot, and then Lefty Holman. We all wondered if he, for $10,000 in Pro Fantasy Rodeo, could play spoiler this week. Maybe he's got a chance to in that aggregate right there.
Golly, it would have been brilliant to pick him on my Pro Fantasy team.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much. All right, stick around. We told you Gus Gaillard was going to be here. He's one of our top rookies. They were all honored at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo last night, and we'll get a chance to catch up with him before he is a super big rock star, because that's coming.
Saddle bronc rider Gus Gaillard from Texas. That's a name that we've been hearing since that kid was a teenager at the Junior NFR and the Junior American. The Resistol Rookie of the Year in the bronc riding, 21st in the world standings. Tall, slender Texan who makes a heck of a spur ride right here in Salinas, California. Has been dominant throughout the course of the year. We get a chance to talk about the Resistol Rookie of the Year. Gus, thank you for joining us. I want to go right to last night. Yesterday was Rookie Day. Last night you got to go out in the arena, be recognized, look up at that crowd, hear from 17,000 people. How was it?
Yeah, it was super awesome. You know, I had all my family and friends there supporting me, and I was just really thankful to have them there. And it was a pretty special moment. You know, it's something that I've worked for my whole life, and to be on the floor of the Thomas and Mack just made me want to go to the NFR even more. You know, I missed it this year, and it's dang sure eating at me.
Justin, that is something you hear from every single rookie. That makes me want to be there even more.
Yeah, they'll remember every detail of that day. I want to talk about your environment because you grew up in one of the most perfect environments to be a saddle bronc rider. I've known your family for a long time. Your grandfather used to hire me to announce some of those amateur events, and so I've known you since before you were born, and I know that's bronc riding country, if there ever was one. Tell everybody what that was like and who you looked up to.
Yeah, so I grew up in a bronc riding family and had an uncle that had bucking horses, and all my neighbors rode broncs. There's people that have been to the NFR.
You're double bred. You got your mom's side doing all of that, but your dad also rode broncs.
Yeah, and my dad rode broncs as well, and pretty much everybody does around where I'm from. And I was the young kid that came up, the next, and then now we've got 2 boys back home, the Franzen boys that I'm helping, and we're getting them on the steers, and they're going to be great bronc riders too. And we live in bronc riding country. There's a lot of horses. Clarendon College is right there, and you can learn a lot.
Guess, Justin talked about you growing up. Let's follow up on that. When do you remember starting? When do you remember getting on your first bucking horse? What was that like the very first time you got on one that bucked?
Yeah, I've been in a bronc saddle since I was 12. I started on the steers and stuff at Robert Edbauer School in Goodwell, and I got on my first bronc when I was a freshman. I think I was 15 or something like that, but dang sure been in a saddle since I was 12. So it's been a long time coming. It's something I've always done.
What was your highlight this season? We're going to watch some of your incredible rides. So impressive.
Yeah, I think the highlight for me was probably Fort Worth. Had a good horse, and horse of the year from last year, All or Nothing, and I ended up winning a pretty good check there, and kind of helped me boost my confidence. That's the ride right there. Put me in a good position going into the new year. I was a rookie and needed some money, and then that dang sure helped.
You're a young guy, you're a rookie, and all of a sudden you see your name next to a great horse, a horse of the year like Sammy's All or Nothing. Get your motor running a little?
Yeah, that's one that I had wanted to get on for a long time, and I got tired of watching it. It's kind of like the black tie. I'm tired of watching the black tie buck without me on him. I want to get on him pretty dang bad. So that was one of those kind of horses, and I was dang sure tickled to have him, and I'm just glad that I stayed on him.
We're looking forward to you being here in the top 15 next year, and thanks for stopping by. I know our time was quick, but we'll put you on camera one more time, let everybody see this year's Resistol Rookie Saddle Bronc Rider of the Year, because you're going to see a lot of Gus Gaillard next year. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
So let's take you to barrel racing and AIQ, powered by TWG Palantir. Kassie Mowry changed horses 2 nights ago. She got on a horse that she literally just started riding called Cornbread. Jumped out, and you take a look at the AI on this run right here. She's going to stop the clock at a 13-4 and win the go-round. She is the first barrel racer since 1990 to win go-rounds more than one at a national finals rodeo on 2 different horses. How's that for a little statistic? Thank you, Ann Bleicher. Thank you, Jolie Lauderette Jordan. But here she is, #1 in the world, #1 in the average, and 4 go-rounds to go to make a little more money.
And nobody's surprised about any of this. Nobody's surprised that she jumped on that horse and did what she did and went as fast as she did, and she continues to amaze. By the way, I don't know if we've talked about this enough, but she did cross over $8 million this year in career earnings. $8 million, all-time winningest when you throw the futurities, the derbies, and everything else together that Equistas keeps together. She's by far #1. Speaking of #1.
Good segue.
One of my favorite musicians of all time is Jenna Paulette. And guess what?
She's here.
She's sitting right beside me.
She's sitting right next to you, Justin.
Right here.
Howdy,
Jenna.
boys. How are you?
Howdy, boys. Did you hear that voice?
I heard that. Hi, Jenna.
Hi. How you doing?
Good.
Good. It's good to see y'all.
Oh,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
You're killing it out there.
Oh, my word. Well, thank you. It feels like a whirlwind, but it's all good. I'm very grateful.
And you've been busy this week, I'm sure, out and
Yes,
about
sir.
in Las Vegas,
Yep.
as always.
Yes, yeah, out and about, and got to headline my first show this year. We did my first late night roundup, and we had just a bunch of cowboy music, but just awesome people like Nolene Hoffman and Hayden Redwine, who's up and coming. He's on tour with Culture Wall, and just a bunch of amazing artists that I really believe in, and we packed out the room, and it was a good time.
This sounds like a show full of you and your best friends.
Yeah, it felt like it. It was awesome, and none of us really get to see each other, because when you are an artist who's on the road all the time, you just don't get to see people that are also doing that thing. So it was really sweet. We all got to hang out backstage and catch up and all that good stuff. It was great.
I love the authenticity that you bring to country music and to rodeo. When you're not singing, you're punching cows in big country, long hours in the saddle.
Yes, sir.
And you grew up that way. And so I'd really appreciate that. And I appreciate how that weaves its way into the music that you write and sing. How gratifying is it to bring that lifestyle into your other lifestyle?
Thank you. Yes. Well, I really just don't even see the point of one without the other. And it gives me a reason to sing every night and a reason to go home and love my life and sing from that place. And I don't think a lot of people get to do it from that perspective. And I just count myself really, really blessed.
Jenna, where can we find you in Las Vegas this week before we let you go?
Goodness. Well, my last event, I got to do the opening ceremony on Monday for Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night, and that was so fun. So that checked a box for me. And then my last thing for the NFR is on Saturday, the 13th, for Fringe and Fashion, and it is by Westerly at the Virgin Hotel at 3 o'clock.
You're involved in an organization helping some girls, and I don't have the information in front of me, pay some fees, and let's see. Keith Ferguson was telling me.
Oh, yes, yeah. So Cowboy Girl, my clothing brand with Ely Cattlemen, we just put together Team Cowboy Girl, and we are going to be sponsoring a bunch of rodeo athletes coming up, and all women. And we've got Jordan Halverson on the bull riding side of things, Katie Coker, who is world champion bronc rider last year for Ranch Broncs, and then we've got Tiffany Lujan, who's coming up in the barrels, and Allie Norcutt, and a few other breakaway ropers that we really believe in, JC Hammonds, and a couple other people. So we're super excited about that, and doing that from an all women's perspective is pretty special.
Yes, it is.
It really is. Jenna Paulette, what can we expect from you in 2026?
I want to be on the road a ton. I've just been figuring out how to be a mom and do this whole thing in country music. So kind of got that nailed down a little bit this past year. And next year I'm going to be playing a lot of shows.
So she's a mom, she's a rancher, she's a singer-songwriter. This is your all-American girl right here.
She's Superwoman, and she's the real deal, and we're just proud that you had time enough to stop by and visit with us. Keep up the amazing work. I'm getting chills just thinking about the impact that your music has had on me personally, and also not just individuals listening, but what you're doing right now is young musicians that are looking to you for direction, and I like that direction a lot. So
thank you. That's an honor, and may it grow and be that way continually, and thank you so much for the kind words. You know how much we love you.
Yep, appreciate it. Right back at you. And we love that you're sticking around, and we're going to continue with big stories on the other side of this break. Western Sports Roundup continues to roll through the South Point Showroom. There you have it. Happy people all over Las Vegas loving everything cowboy. Western Sports Roundup is presented by Ariat. Ready, set, ride in boots and jeans that work as hard as you do.
Wrangler National Finals Rodeo continues with 2 Hall of Famers, the great Dusty Tuckness, the great Cody Webster, and 1 first-time bullfighter saving the lives of bull riders every night during this NFR. I had a chance to catch up with first-time NFR bullfighting selection, Austin Ashley. I get a chance to talk to first-time NFR bullfighter Austin Ashley. 6 go around tonight. You got 5 in the books. How you liking it?
Man, it's been everything I've dreamed of, and maybe way more than that, honestly, you know. And coming into today, I was kind of sad. Like, I've blinked and we're halfway through it, and I don't want it to be over. I wish we had another 15 perps to go or something, but.
Well, I think you got a few more in you before this is all done, and that's the good news. You're working with 2 of the goats, Dusty and Cody. What have they told you? What have you? How's that relationship been? I know you guys have worked together before, but how's it been here?
Shoot, it's been great. You know, like, I've grown up underneath these 2 my whole life, my whole career. You know, they've both been like a big brother to me. Even from the time we got the call, you know, I've asked Cody on certain things. I've asked Dusty on like what we do and all what goes on and what signings, meetings, whatever happens. And you know, them 2 have been great to me, and to get to work with them is a true honor, especially being as young as I am. And you know, everything that's happened, I'm soaking it all in because I'm extremely grateful for it.
Yeah. So every night in the bull riding, there's a different pen of bulls, whether it's the TV pen, the eliminator pen. Does that affect anything that you guys do? I mean, is there any difference from one pen of bulls to the next?
No, sir. I mean, it makes sense, but it's all bullfighting at the end of the day, you know, and we got a job to do to protect these guys. If it's, you know, it can be something that's dog gentle to, you know, it could be a grizzly bear, you know. They you know, picked us to be here to protect them, so, I mean, that's what we're here for.
Ashley, one of 3 great bullfighters, doing a great job at this Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Well, that is true. He's only 23 years old right now. Let's take a look at some of the injuries that happened last night. And this is J.R. Stratford. It didn't look too bad, but he had a forehead laceration, a really bad concussion. Caught that horn on the way down, and he is not competing tonight after some big rides, and he was sitting right up in the top 2 of the average.
So let's talk about your veterans in top 3 headlines. Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association and rodeo fans talking about a couple of calls last night that folks were questioning. Statler Wright, did he not? We will hear more about all of that at the conclusion of this year's National Final.
Other headlines include Kassie Mowry getting another round win, this time on a different horse. She leads the aggregate as well as the world standings, chasing world title number 2.
And let's talk about Gus Gaillard. There he is, the tall, slender Texan, this year's Resistol Rookie of the Year. And congratulations to Gus Gaillard. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed today's show. We'll do it all over again tomorrow from the South Point. Rodeo Live's coming up. God bless everybody. This is Western Sports Roundup.